One of the worst kept secrets in gaming is the Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2. Originally released in 1986 for the Famicom, Japan's equivalent to the Nintendo Entertainment System, this game played nearly identically to the original Super Mario Bros., except contained a Luigi mode instead of a two-player mode, some modified graphics, and a much higher difficulty. It was then rejected by Nintendo of America, who thought it was both too similar to the original game and too difficult for younger players. They instead opted to reskin an already existing game, titled Doki Doki Panic, to release stateside as Super Mario Bros. 2. However, the original Super Mario Bros. 2 would later be released worldwide as part of the Super Mario All-Stars collection, where it was rebranded Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. But did you know that only a few months after the original Super Mario Bros. 2 was released on shelves in Japan, that yet another Mario game was released over there, and it was a remixed version of Super Mario Bros. 1 with many elements of Super Mario Bros. 2. And did you know that it was released on a floppy disk? And that it was based off a Japanese radio show? That's what we're talking about in today's video, which fittingly enough is being sponsored by Zen Market. As a collector of import video games, I know that often the cheapest way to get them is to buy them directly from Japan, but unfortunately most Japanese stores will not ship to North America. With Zen Market, you can shop almost every Japanese online store and bid live on Japanese auctions. There are flat fees with no hidden charges, and Zen Market offers free consolidation and insurance with every purchase. But most importantly for a lot of you, they are giving away a Famicom Mini, which is the Japanese version of the NES Classic Edition, so stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you can enter to win one. However, on today's video, we're talking about All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. So let's get right into it. Welcome to Stuff We Play, home of everything weird and retro, and if that sounds cool to you, why not subscribe? And what we're looking at today most definitely fits the bill of weird and retro. All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. Was released in 1986 to promote the long-running late-night Japanese radio show All Night Nippon. ANN is a late-night talk show that has been broadcast in Japan every night from 1 to 5 a.m. since 1967. Despite being a Mario game that was developed by Nintendo, this game was actually published by Fuji Television and was originally intended to just be a regular giveaway prize on All Night Nippon itself. An interesting note about this game is that it was not released on a cartridge. Years before Sega released a Sega CD for the Sega Genesis, Nintendo released the Famicom Disk System for the Famicom, which allowed games to be released on floppy disks. Along with being able to hold more data than the earliest of Famicom cartridges, the FDS allowed games to also utilize save functionality and have additional sound channels in their music. On the flip side, this medium also forced games to have load times, and some games, most notably RPGs, had to be spread across multiple disks, forcing disk swapping much like that with larger PC titles of the era. The Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2, along with All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros., were released in this format. Thankfully, the aforementioned issues are at a minimum, and load times only occur when booting up the game and when traveling from any point before World 5 to any point after. All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. Is essentially an official ROM hack of the Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2. It mostly features levels from the original Super Mario Bros., though the graphics are modified to tie in with the All Night Nippon radio show. However, some levels are featured from Super Mario Bros. 2, and item locations have been modified in all of the levels here. Furthermore, as can be seen on the title screen, there is once again no two-player mode, but instead the ability to play as Luigi, who still has his increased jump and reduced traction from Mario 2 Japan. Going into the graphics, the most immediately apparent graphical differences from Super Mario Bros. 1 is that the ground titles are from Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan, and the title screen is completely original. Also, fittingly enough, seeing what this is based on, the original iconic World 1-1 is now set at night. Some enemies and other assets have also been changed. Little microphones appear in the background of the stages, and Goombas and Piranha Plants have been changed to closely resemble All Night Nippon radio DJs Sunplaza Nagano and Tamori respectively. The flags at the end of each stage and the axes that are used to defeat Bowser at the end of each world have also been changed so as to contain the logo of the parent company of All Night Nippon. Weirdly enough, the power stars which grant Mario invincibility now resemble the Star of David. This is actually meant to be the Hiranya, which is a symbol that was popular in Japanese pop culture, but like many things this game, this is a reference I feel will go over the heads of most Western players. Another interesting change here is that Toad is no longer present after each Bowser fight to tell you that your princess is in another castle. Instead, one of the hosts of All Night Nippon is now located at the end of each world. They were also all greet the player again at the end of World 8 when Princess Peach is rescued. Oddly enough, Princess Peach here also has an original sprite, featuring her with her hair tied up. As a cool little extra about beating this game, the music that plays when Peach is rescued has been lightly altered. The game contains the same music for the most part as in the original Super Mario Bros., with the only other sound change being a sound effect that plays when Mario or Luigi quickly changes direction while running. The music at the end of the game, however, has been modified to take advantage of the additional sound channel provided by the Famicom Disk System, making reaching the end of this title feel just that much more rewarding. However, reaching the end here is not truly completing the game. Every time you beat All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros., a little star will appear on the title screen. As this is on the Famicom Disk System, the game will keep track of how many times you've beaten it, even once the system has been powered down. Like in Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan, once the game has been beaten at least 8 times, holding the A button while selecting a character will allow you to access worlds A through D, which are 4 new worlds that contain which are by far the most difficult levels in the game. While these 4 secret worlds start off as great tests of platforming skill, by World C you're encountering stages that rely on hidden blocks and leaps of faith a bit too much for my liking. Beating these stages won't unlock anything new, and beating the main game without warp zones will not grant access to a secret world 9 like in Mario 2 Japan. World A through D stages are also mostly the same as in Mario 2 Japan, with the main difference being that at the end of worlds A through C, the player will encounter All Night Nippon DJ Guro Toy. The only other changes in worlds A through D from Mario 2 Japan are that items have been shifted around from their locations and some levels have been completely swapped out with other levels from Mario 2 Japan. World B1 has been replaced with Mario 2 Japan's World 5-1, B3 with Mario 2's 3-3, World C3 and C4 have been replaced with Mario 2's World 7-3 and 7-4, and World D1 contains a modified version of Mario 2's World 8-1. However, these aren't the only times in the game that levels have been swapped around like this. In the main campaign, most levels are from the original Super Mario Bros., meaning that they're pretty easy when played as Luigi as they're mostly designed with Mario's shorter jump in mind. However, World 5-3 has been replaced with a modified version of World 4-3 from Mario 2 Japan, and the same goes with World 5-4, 6-4, 7-2, and 7-3, which have been replaced with modified versions of Mario 2's Worlds 2-4, 4-4, 6-2, and 6-3, respectively. Finally, World 8-4, the final level of the main campaign, has been replaced with a completely unchanged version of World 8-4 from Mario 2 Japan, leading to a much tougher endgame. This is the only level that has been imported from Mario 2 Japan that has had no changes made to it whatsoever. Despite all of this, all the warp zones from Mario 1 still work here as intended, with the only exception being that the minus world glitch in World 1-2 does not seem to work here. Perhaps the best way to describe All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. Would be 3/4 Super Mario Bros. 1, 1/4 Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan, and a new paint job in several areas containing references to Japanese pop culture from the 80s. This was actually the third of 3 separate occasions in 1986 where Nintendo had remix versions of the original Super Mario Bros. Released. The first of these was Super Mario Bros. Special for the NEC PC 8801, which actually predated Mario 2 Japan by a few months. This game contained the same play mechanics and graphical style as the original Super Mario Bros., but contained all new level designs and some gameplay elements from the Donkey Kong arcade game. They also released Versus Super Mario Bros., which was an arcade port of Mario 1, which also contained revised levels, including some from Mario 2 Japan. Out of the 3 of these games, Versus Super Mario Bros. Was the only one to ever make its way outside of Japan, and even recently received a re-release, which contains online leaderboards on the Nintendo Switch eShop. As for All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. Though, there has never been a re-release or port of this strange title, and as such, it seems destined to remain an obscure part of Mario's history. Now before we end off, as mentioned earlier, our sponsor today, Zen Market, is giving away a Famicom Mini, which is the Japanese equivalent to the NES Classic Edition. This beautiful little system comes with 30 built-in games, a limited edition tote bag, and even 30 exclusive Nintendo playing cards. Shipping is worldwide, so follow the link in the description below and use the code PLAYZEN to receive 1,000 bonus points in this giveaway so that you could potentially win this awesome little mini console. So definitely go enter the giveaway and definitely check out Zen Market if you're a fan of import gaming or really any form of of import collecting. While you're at it, why don't you comment down below what piece of obscure gaming history I should cover in future videos. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to Stuff We Play for more great content like this, or even back us on Patreon, because every dollar earned from Patreon does go back into the channel itself. So with that, thank you very much for watching, stay classy, and I'll see you next time.